New York City is recording more coronavirus deaths than any place else right now, but that doesn't mean you should be not concerned, but don't be as worried. I come across people are just totally terrified of just stepping out of their house when they shouldn't be. Going outside is actually healthy for the environment and for you. But New York City, normally there's a death in New York City every 9 minutes. So the virus is actually killing 1 to 2 people every day. So I did a little comparison chart here comparing, we're in Niagara County, New York. It's close to Niagara Falls. It's a very sparsely populated. We have approximately 211,000 people here. But let me show you a chart right here that I did. You have 8.6 million in New York City, and to this date, we had 21,000 cases. So in comparison to when you do cross multiplication, Niagara County has 211 population density. So with these numbers, we should actually have 515 cases, but we only have 15 cases. So now say, well, how many cases would New York City have with the same percentages of Niagara County? Well, if we only have 15 cases, when you do cross multiplication, there should be only 611 cases in New York City. So why is the percentage? And when you look at the numbers here, 1 in 14,000 people have the virus in Niagara County, yet in New York City, it's 1 in 409. So being close to a population density like that, it's not good. Right now, the U.S. leads in cases. But are we really getting the true information out of China? Because it's a communist country. They didn't tell us this disease was going on there for 3 weeks after they detected the first one, which then allowed them to contaminate the whole area because so many people travel from China around the world. So that in turn created a problem. But there's a main issue. You know, we know here in the country with our scientists and doctors that viruses are bad news. And especially ones that have come out of that area. We had SARS, MERS, and all these other diseases like that. Yet, how come our leadership didn't do the same thing as what South Korea did? South Korea implemented testing right away. There's a video I saw over a month, 2 months ago of a girl that traveled from China to South Korea. They kept her in a hospital for days until she cleared and went through the testing system. We knew this was going on, and yet our leaders did this. I mean, it could go right down to the county level. I mean, to this day, for example, in Niagara County, nurses have told me this, they're still doing non-emergency surgeries. Why are the hospitals in Niagara County still doing non-emergency surgeries when this is going on? So you're going to risk the contamination of people being at work, given the surgeries and everything else? That shouldn't happen. Also, the airport's still open here in Niagara County too. You know, if it is, granted, people have to get back, but do we have health department people at the airport testing, going through, asking people, hey, were you around? Can we check your temperature and do that? So when you look at, you know, we're so quick to blame government when we ourselves are to blame because we should be the ones demanding them to do that, and they have to do it. And you can do it locally too. Yes, the local government can do something. Here's proof. The local governments, the local citizens can do something without permission from the higher level state or federal government. Have a listen to this.
Call for social distancing, right? Perhaps it wasn't loud enough for some young people who are still converging on the beaches of Florida for spring break. Now, the state governor, what does he say? He says he's not going to shut down beaches amid the outbreak. However, some local authorities are closing beaches to fight the spread of COVID-19.
Local authorities can do things to stop the spread. No different than my local volunteer fire company I belong to. They were afraid to respond to ambulance calls without a certified EMT because the state said it was against the law for us to save lives if we didn't have a certified EMT on board. Governments are stopping us from protecting ourselves. Italy had a crazy amount of cases, but people don't realize that Italy had like 300,000 Chinese workers that worked in Italy, so it would say made in Italy and not made in China. Also, they had a big thing going on there with up in the Alps. You have a lot of skiing. So you got all these people in the ski lodge just running noses, you know, drinking and sitting at the bars. So you had a massive outbreak of this up in the skiing areas. So it's a bad thing. And I'm not saying don't we be worried, still be concerned. But don't be as worried because we're not in that high population density. Thank God we live in Niagara County and these small counties of New York State. But thanks for listening.